Morning. Happy Saturday. Weekend is here. It's a little bit wet in the backyard. I almost sat down. I might sit down in a minute, but hope you're having a great morning today so far. Look, the sun is bright and shining. Oh, we got some birds flying over. I don't even know what was that. Thought I was being attacked. So do you want to know, the question today is, do you want to know how to lose 10 pounds over the holidays? And I have an answer for you. I have actually a secret. I'm going to share that with you in a minute. It's pretty straightforward. So when you get this, you get on here. Sorry, I slept in a little bit, and coffee is very, very important to me. I don't even actually feel necessarily the effects of the caffeine, but it's just something more of a tradition. So I don't know what you're drinking in your cup, but get your coffee, and let's dive in just for a minute. Losing 10 pounds is a feat in itself. Holiday season, it's like near impossible for a lot of people. Maybe you're that type of person that's been struggling, and if you kind of got reeled into my video and you're ready to find out how to lose 10 pounds over the holidays, and that's something maybe that you've struggled with in the past, you're going to need to listen up, because it's very, very simplistic in nature. It comes down to this one thing. It comes down to math. It comes down to math, simple math. In fact, I even brought I say simple math. Now, I just have to first preface that I'm not very good at math. I have a calculator, so I'm going to have to probably put down the coffee cup and share with you mathematics. There has to be a calorie deficit at the end of the day. In order to understand what the calorie deficit is, you may have even heard like, hey, it's 3,500 calories is a pound of fat, right? So like if you want to lose a pound, you're looking at about 3,500 calories, right? Okay, so that's fine. But if you don't know where you're starting from, if you don't know what you're eating, if you don't know what you're taking in, then it's going to be very, very difficult for you to understand. It comes down to kind of like with business, something that I'm not the best at as far as the numbers. The learning, I have a business coach and helping me understand that you got to know your numbers, you got to know your profit and loss, your P&L margins, right? You need to know all those things. You got to track your numbers, and it's no different when it comes to weight loss. The problem is a lot of us really, we struggle because first off, if you're, say, partying, it's like holiday season, right? What happens? You go to the holidays, you go to the parties. Maybe the parties are different, but you're going to celebrate. Maybe you're going to go out and indulge. Maybe because we've been locked down for so long and now you're able to go out, that you want to enjoy some time out with your friends and your families and all that. And that's great. You should. That's kind of part of life to enjoy, especially in the climate that we're living in right now, to have some quality time, some good times with maybe your spouse, with your kids. Last night, my daughter and I went out to eat. It was great. We had a burger and fries. It was delicious. And but again, if you're in that trying to lose weight, if it's 10 pounds through the holidays, it comes down to simple math. So if you know that a pound, so I'm going to give you a little tip. The secret is really to know your numbers, to track what you're eating. Do you have to track every single calorie? Well, there's a little better way to do that. And I have actually that solution, but you have to know on the inside, or you have to come in to my world so that I can know what you're trying to achieve. So you have to back up even one more step and know what you're trying to achieve. If it's 10 pounds, cool. So 1 pound is 3,500, 10 pounds is 35,000, right? You just add that extra zero on. That's simple math. So 35,000, think about this. If it's 3,500, fortunately, it's not 350,000. It's 35,000 calorie deficit to lose 10 pounds. So let's just break that. If you're looking at, say, a week, 3,500 calories in a week. If you're looking at a week and 3,500 calories, give or take, right? 500 to 800, maybe, if you're, depending on like if you go out and you need a little bit of flex, if you have like a date, if you go out a little date night with your daughter and you take out in consideration, maybe 500 to 1,000, but just basic math, right? 5 times 7 is 35, 3,500, that's 1 pound a week. Fortunately, your body doesn't lose the weight like that, just so you know up front. It doesn't like lose it perfectly if you reduce by, but you'll have a much better idea. Two things. You'll have a much better way of understanding, first off, knowing how much you're taking in. So do an inventory, right? So take a look at what you're eating, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Track it. There's so many tools now you can track what you're eating. If you're going out all the time, you need to either look at what the restaurants are providing as far as nutritional, and if you go to maybe the fancier restaurants, you're going to have to look that up and do a little bit more research. But if you're really trying to buckle down, trying to dial in your nutrition, and you want to lose 10 pounds over the holidays, the secret is in math, calorie deficit. It doesn't mean you should only, and here's the thing that people get into trouble with, is they back off on a Friday. They don't eat all day Friday and then they go out because they know they're going to go out Friday night and they're going to have a little party. Maybe you did that last night. So you don't eat much during the day. And then what happens when you go out and you have your indulgence? You overindulge, and that's a bad thing, because what happens is you're going into that celebration mode. You're going into that Friday night. You're going into that party thinking, oh, well, I conserved all through the day. I fasted, then I used intermittent fast. And that's not intermittent fasting. You just cut back one day. You basically fasted for maybe, say, breakfast and lunch, and then you went wild. You went buck wild on Friday evening, and guess what? You just trashed your efforts. And that's what gets in the way. Weekends become people's weekends because two things: they don't know how much they're getting in, they don't know how much they need. Well, you do know how much you need to lose it. 3,500 calories for a pound of fat, right? So 10 pounds. Now I'm telling you right now, it's 35,000 calories in a deficit to lose 10 pounds in the holidays. That's basically where you need to be. Now, how you get there, now don't think you bought that new piece of exercise equipment, you put it on the wall, the tonal, whatever they're called, all those, the mirrors and all that stuff, and you can work out all day long. You can bust your butt and you can work out, but you and I both know you can't out-train a 𝐓𝐡𝐞 diet. You can't out-train. Don't think you're going to work out for hours and hours, and that's going to be the excuse so you can throw down 2 bottles of wine. That just does not work. I don't care how much you sweat. I don't care how many push-ups you do. It is not going to work, because here's the problem. When you try to overcompensate with extra exercise, then what happens is you're not typically getting the proper rest, you're not getting the proper food, nutrition, and fuel your body needs to actually benefit from all that extra exercise. So you might as well take a gun out and shoot yourself in the foot, because that's exactly what you're doing when it comes to over exercising. Now, I'm not saying don't exercise more in the holidays. In fact, I want my students to, but I know the reality is we don't have the time. So if you don't have the time, if you don't have the patience, I don't have patience. If you want to lose 10 pounds, if you struggle to lose those 10 pounds, you know how much you need to reduce. So let's backtrack real quick. 35,000 calories from now until, say, till the end of the year. If you wanted to try to lose 10 pounds in a month, you're looking at about 35,000 calorie deficit. Sounds like that's impossible. No, it's not. It actually isn't. I've had many of my students, because they're on the right plan, they know the right workouts to do, they have a right structure, they understand what they're taking in, because I ask them to show me on a weekly basis. They have reports, and if you don't have accountability, then you're never going to lose that 10 pounds. Or you can. Here's the other thing people do. They do the keto diet. Oh, I'm just going to do what everybody else is doing. Let's just do the keto, and let's do my modified version. Everybody's modified. I'm doing paleo, but I'm doing my version because I still want to enjoy it in the holidays. Well, stop doing your versions of stuff. Do it the right version. Calorie deficit, 35,000 calories, 3,500 calories for a pound, 500 calories a week. Think about this. If it's 500 calories a week, 500 calories a day, 3,500 calories a week, 10 weeks, next 10 weeks, if you just did that, 500 calorie deficit, you would potentially lose 10 pounds according to math. Now, here's the other thing. I know there's lots of things that get in the way on the holidays, and I'm going to go over those. In fact, at 10 o'clock a.m. in just a short time, about an hour and a half, a little bit longer, I'm going to give you 10 tips, 10 secret tips. I'm going to come on here live. Some of you, I'm gonna Zoom it, and then I'm gonna stream it in through Facebook. If you want to join me, reach out, send me a message. I actually posted it just before. If you want to join me, if you have questions, if you want to know the tips, one of the things that I know is to find out where people struggle. How do I know? What makes me the expert? I've been doing this for 25 years. So I have 25 years, 25 holidays of experience helping people. So 25 times have I helped people through the holidays, not the same people, but people, tons of people over the holidays get through. And I'm going to give you 10 of my top tips at 10 o'clock, 10 tips at 10 a.m. Saturday morning. If you want to join, you want to come, I'm giving you an invitation. You have to private message me if you want it, or you can even hashtag me right now below, and I'll give you the link. It's a private link, just one time for this at 10 o'clock. You want to come on. If there's time after, I'm going to give you 10 tips. I'm also going to, if there's enough time after, it's going to be about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to also open it up for some questions. That way, if you have a specific question, you can ask me screen to screen, face to face if you'd like. That's all I have. Again, I hope not only that you have an awesome holiday season. I know it's hard right now to think about the holidays. I know it's stressful. I know it's easy to think there's no way I can lose 10 pounds. And that's what people were saying when they started with me when COVID hit. I had a number of people get started on a health and fitness journey just before. I had people start just during, and guess what? They're all thriving. They're all succeeding. They're losing 10, 20, 30, 50, 60 plus pounds of weight because they have the structure, they have the plan, they have the guidance, and of course they have the support. Maybe you just are missing the support to have in your world, and maybe you need to have that kind of support to help you get through the holidays and build the kind of habits that will last a lifetime. Anyway, come join me. You got to reach out to me, or I'm not giving you access. You can, of course, lurk if you want through Facebook. I will be streaming that through Facebook, through Zoom, not just Facebook Live. Oh, B, take care. God bless. We'll talk soon.